What we get asked at Foxdog a lot is about how far can the lights actually go. What we thought we'd do today is set up a range where we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and we also have targets out to 700. And what we're going to endeavour to do today is just show you a little bit about how these lights work and what you can expect. The idea of these lights is to mount them on the rifle. They go to a very narrow beam and you can adjust the beam right onto your point of impact. You can use them for spotting, but they're a torch made to go directly onto your rifle. We're going to test every model and we're going to give you an indication, so when you go and buy the torch, you can work out what type of shooting you want to do and you can match up your torch to suit you and your needs. Unfortunately, guys, we couldn't train the foxes well enough to sit by the 100 metre and 200 metre signs. So the foxes that you're going to see at the meterages are simulations. They're cutouts of life-size foxes 1-to-1, and we've simulated the eyes with some reflector tape. Well, it's nice and dark here now, and we've got the JP303 model on the rifle, on our day scope. At the moment, we're looking at the 100 metre mark. You can see that it's very bright. For all of the testing, we'll have the lights on high intensity. So at 100 metres, you'll see that it's very bright. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn down the intensity of the light. We only want to use as much light as we need to see the image through the scope. So if you're shooting a fox, just enough so you can ID him and take the shot. What people are saying is about the foxes that yes, they can't see red light, but they can certainly see brightness. So if you're standing in the middle of the paddock and you've got this beaming bright light going at them 100 metres, they are going to wonder what that bright light is. So get the intensity dial and turn it right down, just enough light to take the shot. So now we'll continue on to the 200, and this will be at full intensity. We'll leave full intensity for the other increments. So you can see it's nice and bright at that 200. So at the 200, we'll go from the red and we'll turn the colour dial, we'll go to the white, and we'll turn the colour dial again, and it will come up to the green. So there's your three differences of colours at 200 metres. As we go out in distance, you'll start to see why we predominantly shoot on red and the difference between the colours and the way that the red's going to give you that better depth of field and for your ID. So if we go to 300, we'll go back to red. Change the colour now on the dial, the quick dial, so we're not losing any point of impact, and we're going to the white and the green. We'll go out to 400, start on red, and again you'll see that there's a, you can pick up the image very easily at 400. Now we're going to pan out to the 450 at the fox silhouette. Now this is where we say our claim is for fox identification on the red is 450 metres. You can clearly identify that that is a fox. Now we're going to go to the white, and what you'll see is the white, as we're getting out further and further, you're going to see it virtually like a flat white light. And the green will do the same. So what you're getting is you're losing all depth perception, and that's one of the things we really want at night. The red is really where it starts to come to its own in the distance shooting. Now we're going to go out to the 500 metre mark, which is above our red claim, but the red will still pick this up very nicely. And we'll go to white and to green. Now obviously we're not saying that we want to be shooting out to this range. Bring it in, let them come in and shoot out to that 150 metre mark. So now we're going to push the light, and the final target that we have out here tonight is at 700 metres, and there's it on 700 metres on the red, on the white and on the green. So picking up the eye shine. It's a bit of a stretch with the moisture in the air tonight, but you can clearly see the eye shine. We've now changed over to the 103, which as you can see is a very compact model. We run the same internals as the 303 with the LEDs, but now we've come down in the bezel and the glass and the magnification size. We would recommend these for air rifle or rimfire. It has all the same features of we can zoom in and out, we can zoom or go broad, and we've also got the intensity dial at the back. As you can see, this is gives you a really good output at 100 metres that we're looking at here. We're not going to go through all the colours with this one. We'll do a comparison of the red and go through to the claim distances that we have. Now we'll pan over to 200 metres and see again, good identification at 200 metres, easy identification. So we'll pan across to 300. Now 300 is where our claim for the red and the green stop. We stop at 275 and the white is at 300. Now we'll test it out. We'll go beyond the claim and we'll go to 400. And again, good image. Identification, you could stretch that out depending on your optics out to 400. And eye shine for this model is out to 500. So on top of this night vision unit that we're using is the NV103. Again, it's the same compact size as the JP103, but with the red IR850 for the longer throw and the IR940 with the which gets rid of the red glow of the 850 so the animals can't see it. So when the animal comes in nice and close, you can switch over the 940. Saves a little bit of time of you trying to turn down the 850 to get rid of that white washout as well that you can get with night vision. The one thing that is really needs to be observed here is that the quality of your digital night vision will be a big factor in how far you can see with the IR. As much as the IR is important to have a good IR, it's just as important to match it with a good night vision scope. So it will be relative to your scope that you're putting it on there. But with this one tonight, what we're looking at is we're looking at the 100 metre now, so it's a clear identification at 100 metres. There's no problem at all here. And as we pan across to 200, nice identification out to 200. We'll go across to 300. Again, the identification, and then the next pan we'll go across, and what you can see in the shot there, you can see the 400 metre, the 450 metre fox, and the one to the left you can see is the 500 metre mark. So plenty of throw with this little compact. One important factor when you're using night vision and IR lights is that you want to avoid the white washout that you get sometimes. It's the strength of the IR. The IR is too strong. So there's two ways you can fix this. One, you can go straight to the intensity dial, and you can also flood it at the front as well. So you can either flood it to make it as a bit of a flood and spread that beam so you can reduce it that way, or you can just use your intensity dial at the back. Being able to switch from red and back to IR is a major benefit. Sometimes you'll be scanning with a torch, you'll go to your IR, and then you will lose the fox or what you're chasing, whether it's a fox or a cat. What you can do is you can flick to red, take your head off the scope, pan around, pick up the eye shine, flick it straight back to IR, and then take your time to take that shot. You'll find yourself with these models that you will do that more than you would ever believe. So that's where that red will really come in handy for you. A lot of these, the brightness will depend on the night. If you're in a paddock, obviously, that's really dusty and there's lots of particles in the air, or if it's water in the air, it's going to limit the distance that you're going to be able to see. It's also going to depend upon the scope that you use. We use high-end optics on all of our contract guns. So the optics we're running on this is $1,100 to $1,300 scope, and it's a 56 objective. But the testing that we also do is on a mid-range scope of around, even starting at the $350 to $400. So you can expect good clear images out to these distances. We hope we've been able to answer some of those questions you've had regarding distance with the different models of the Z-Vision hunting lights. Z-Vision hunting lights is an Australian brand. We're an Australian company, but more importantly, it's all backed by our own Australian warranty. For further information about the Z-Vision light range, go and check out your local hunting or firearms specialist store. In the meantime, safe and happy shooting.